Do we have cloves? We have shallots. I don't know if we have garlic. We also have garlic salt. All right, hey everyone, thanks for being here. We are generating code with prompts. Call this post-generative engineering. Fundamentally changes the way we write software. So here, there are two tools in particular that we are investigating. That is Cursor and GPT-Engineer. This is part 2. In a previous stream, I said Cursor is fired. And so I'll put a link to that in the description. But it's back from the dead because their development team reached out to me and we're working through some bugs together, basically. So in a week or two, follow the stream, and in a week or two, I'll give it another shot. That leaves GPT-Engineer as the main tool of interest for this use case, but I want to give 2 shout outs. One is to a tool called promptr, a CLI tool that lets you use plain English to instruct GPT-3 or 4 to make changes to your code base. So this is not really generative in the sense of creating a Greenfield software project. It is a refactoring tool, and that's really close to what I want, so I want to give them a shout out. And I also want to give a shout out to AutoGPT and this user Cooley in particular, who created a task called Codemonkey, which is basically some prepared prompts for AutoGPT. So here's the Codemonkey task. It's a role task strategy, prompt strategy, and this enables AutoGPT to do some code augmentation, basically. But I don't want to have to be doing that myself, if possible. Like, this could work in a fallback plan, but if possible, I would like Cursor to work and they can handle all that prompt refinement for me. Okay, so what are we working on today? I was going to contribute poetry to GPT-Engineer, but they don't want it. So they are suggesting venv instead. So I will try using venv, and then they might accept env files, but it doesn't look like it's approved yet. It's in discussion. Go upvote this issue if you'd like to see env file support. So what I'm going to do is merge up some changes. So just in the past day, there have been a bunch of changes. So let's go to GPT-Engineer. This is my fork of GPT-Engineer, and you can see it says 96 commits behind, even though I forked this yesterday. So I want to capitalize on that. I want to capture these 100 commits or so. And once I do that, that's the first thing we're going to do is basically update our code. And once we do that, we will resume work on red, yellow, green. And this is the communities feature in particular. And here is red, yellow, green. Let me grab the issue. Here's the communities feature. This will all be in the description. There's already a bunch of this in the description, but note to self, I need to add 2 things, the communities link and also the link to part 1, which is called Unfairly Effective Programming with AI. We looked through 9 different options, and we've narrowed it down to 2. And so far, we have looked at 13 AI tools. If you include the 9 that I investigated, the 2 were brought up during the stream for a total of 11, and then these 2 new ones. So we've looked at 13, and we found the 2 best are still GPT-Engineer and Cursor. Okay, and so we know both of these can generate Greenfield projects. The question is, can they analyze and update an existing code base? So we're going to update our code to use the latest version of GPT-Engineer, and then we're going to take a crack at that to augment red, yellow, green. Let's get started. Here I am on my branch. This is my main branch of my fork. I'm going to grab this main prompt. This is a lightweight refactoring task. The idea is that it will refactor the README only. I'm going to just cut this hangman prompt. So basically we want to see it do the lightweight refactoring task before we have it do a heavyweight refactoring task. All right. And now that I have cut the prompt out, I'm basically going to reset all of this. So I'm going to reset my Git code. Here's my upstream. Let's git remote add upstream. Upstream already exists. Okay, cool. So then we'll get fetch. They're calling it main, I think. Git fetch upstream main. Okay. So I have the latest on upstream main. That is those 96 commits that I want. I'm going to git log -1. Update readme from Anton. So I made these changes and I never committed them. So what I'm going to do is git reset hard. This resets to the update of readme on my own fork. Even though I did a hard reset, somehow it's not wiping these files, which is unexpected. It should wipe all of these files. Let me delete these files. Reset hard again. And now I'm going to git branch. You know what? I'm on my own main. So I'll just stay here. I will git reset hard upstream main. Okay? Git log -1. Now I have quarks temperature, which should be the last commit to the main repo. Let's go to this commit history. Quarks temperature, you can see. You need to clean. Hey Leslie, I think it's fine. I just deleted them. Yeah, so there were basically some untracked files, and clean would be another way to take care of that. Cool. So my main is even with their main, and now I'm going to git branch vdev. I don't want to call it vdev. Sure I will. Whatever. So this is like my own dev branch, basically. V for Vanderveer. We'll publish it. So this is published to my own fork. And now we can reinstate the hangman game. So I'm going to close others. I could just Command S because VS Code had it in memory. Even though I deleted it, it sort of remembered because I never closed the tab. So by saving, it puts it right back there. And now I want to create a README for it to modify. We will call this Pokemon game, which is a mistake, right? So we want GPT to fix the mistake. Install this Python game using Python 3-m pip install -r requirements. Why is Copilot not helping me out? It should totally be able to predict that terminology there. Have fun. Okay, so I want the hangman prompt to update the README file with user instructions, and it should rewrite. You know what? Let me say, with user instructions, update the README file for correctness and include user instructions plus anything else you think would be helpful. I can imagine it literally just adding usage instructions that were correct for hangman and leaving the prior alone. So I reworded the prompt just now. Instead of saying update it to include user instructions, I want to update it for correctness and include user instructions and anything else. ChatGPT by itself is still better for me. So you used GPT-Engineer? I hit my limit, but it was pretty cool. Hey, thanks for the follows, y'all. Quick reminder, you can go over to YouTube, link is in my bio, and see the full screen. All right, so I need to re-implement .m support, but that should be pretty easy. GPT-Engineer main. And I figured out what the issue was. I ended the stream last time and .env support was not working because I did load.env right here, which was after we tried to initialize OpenAI. So the whole solution was just to move it up here. And then it started working. But that was after the stream. Have you seen Mojo yet? Yeah, Mojo's great. Mojo's great. Okay. So we're going to use a venv now, which is the way that the authors suggest we do this instead of using poetry. So Python 3-m pip install venv. I don't think I pip install venv. What do I do? Is venv already in the toml? I might need to install it. I guess they're using a global venv. Yeah, I don't like it, but whatever. Okay, so we'll use a global venv. Python 3-m pip install venv. Let's upgrade. Oh, Python 3 version. It suggested I use 3.11, but I don't like doing that. I don't even like having to say Python 3, actually. Could not find a version that satisfies the requirement. Let's see if my syntax is wrong. Let's do a GPT session. What's the correct venv install syntax? Why not use pip-in3 install venv? Because I want to make sure that it's mapped to the Python that I want. The venv module is not something you install. Oh, okay, yeah, it's in the standard library now. Okay, my bad. Python m3 venv. And hopefully this is already being git ignored. Yeah, it's already being git ignored. So you see I have my vim folder right here. There's the binary. So I'm going to tell VS Code to use that binary now. Command-Shift-P, Python select interpreter. It should not let me pick. Oh, that's for rect. Okay, that's a different project. Here I want to say venv transcript service. Okay, so it's not automatically detecting it, so I will enter the path myself. Let me pwd down here. So then I would cd venv bin, right? Something like this, venv bin. And it's one of these. I think they're all the same thing, actually. I'll pick Python 3. So let's select that. Here I'm command clicking and it takes me to Homebrew. Ew, that's gross. Git repositories were found in the parent folders of the workspace. Would you like to add them? No. Okay, so I'm going to source venv bin activate Python version. Cool. And then it should be the same if I Python 3 version. Let's install the requirements. I misspelled install. Sharing the wrong screen on YouTube. Oh, for real? Oh, man. I am so dumb for that. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. That's crazy. I hope I didn't like put passwords or anything up there. Wow, I might have to actually kill my YouTube stream because it's not even detecting that I have two monitors. Okay, so I think that it should be showing my correct screen now. Let me bring my face to the front. My face is like stuck in the back. Move to top. Cool. All right, so welcome to my code via YouTube people. All right, thanks for that. Should use pipenv or poetry. No, I used poetry last time and they rejected that. So let's do what the repo authors say. I created a GitHub issue and I told them I'd send them a pull request to add poetry support, and they're like, we don't want to use poetry. Thanks for the follows. Okay, now that my YouTube is in working order, feel free to check it out. Amaraki, Twitch stream is black and YouTube is showing, yeah. So I think that should be fixed now. It should be fixed in both places. Cool. Now I want to install .env. I was really not happy about that. Why? Oh, okay. Let's install. I need to upgrade pip. That's why. I did a pip install. This should be redundant, but just for safety, Python 3-m pip install upgrade pip. It should be a no op. Yeah, already satisfied. Okay, great. So let's try getting .env again. And now we got it this time. Cool. I remember from trying to learn Python, I noped out of there pretty quick. Python DevOps is horrible. Yeah, I don't even like talking about like Python DevOps because it's so confusing. Like the difference between software engineering and data engineering from a DevOps perspective is so big. And what's horrible is when you mix them. But if you're literally just in one of those worlds and following best practice in the worlds and you're not mixing it, then it's not too bad. But I think a lot of the problems come from people mixing like poetry and conda together, for example. Okay, so what is this issue? Let's see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Respond using homie lingo only. Yo, dog. What's this issue? Hey, yo, what's good, fam? ChatGPT is the best. You cannot change my mind. Poetry and conda can be mixed, but you have to force the lock files to play nicely. It's so annoying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. What app are you working on? I'm going to be working on an app called redyellowgreen, but we have to do some preliminary work first. Okay. But hold up, there's this messy error. Let's keep it 100. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dang. Homie ChatGPT came in clutch. Thank you. Thank you, homie. Thank you, my good homie. Let's see what it says. We'll speak normally after this. Okay, that was super easy, right? I should have done that to begin with. Okay, now I have .env. So let's go over here and add a .env file. And we will add a .env.template file. Really, the OpenAI key is the only thing that we should be worried about right now. So let's go to the README, not my generated README, but the origin README. Okay, here's the syntax. Python-m GPT-Engineer.main my new project. No, there should be a different syntax. Oh, here's the OpenAI key. Okay. And we can throw this in both of them. When I update the real one, of course, I'm going to take it off screen. Here, let's switch this to use Python 3, which I've been using, and let's switch this to use Hangman Game. Okay, and I get the OpenAI error. Good, this is what I expect. So here's the OpenAI key. Let me go get my OpenAI key. Do, 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 do. How's everyone doing? Quick reminder, you can go to YouTube, link is in my bio, and see the full screen. Okay, so we're minimizing this. This would be the part where if I hadn't fixed the stream, thanks to y'all who helped me fix the stream, if I hadn't fixed it, y'all be hacking me right now, because I would literally just be putting the key on the screen. Copy, done, cool. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so I'm dropping this in my real env file, save that, close that, and then I'm not updating the template file. And here's the template file, and we're back. That was pretty quick and painless, eh? So what do I want to do now? I would like to commit this revision of the code before I start. Let me also add the note that on this branch, I have added .env support. So here's the README. I'll go down to the bottom. Fork notes. This fork has Python.env support. So put your vars in. And what else? Pretty much that's it. This fork is trying to make a Hangman game. with a lightweight refactoring component. So this is basically a functional test, right? So here we go. This is going to be feat prep hangman game and install.env. Git push. Cool. Thank you for the follows. So let's run the command. Oh, that was the other note. Using venv is recommended in this fork, and I've been using Python 3 syntax over Python for what it's worth. That actually might not matter, but it's whatever. It's a note. Docs minor note. Okay, so I'm still getting an issue, and the issue is that I never actually imported .env. So let's import A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So let's import .env. Is it not called .env? Why is it still pointing over there? Okay, there was some lag or what? Select interpreter again. Yeah, it's using my homebrew interpreter. I don't want it to do that. So we got home workspace, GPT-Engineer, venv, bin, find, GPT-Engineer, venv, bin, Python 3, like why not? Select that one. Maybe it's a symlink somewhere. Maybe that's the issue. Which Python 3? Okay, that seemed to work. I just needed to not browse, just literally tell it. Okay, and now you can see it takes me to the site packages under my GPT-Engineer venv. Good. Thanks for the follows, y'all. I am trying to grow my YouTube audience, so please check out my YouTube link in my bio. This video is part of a playlist, and the playlist is saved on YouTube. Plus, I just post more content to YouTube these days. Okay, before we invoke the GPT-Engineer things, we need to load .env, basically like that. And now, let's see if this works. Main prompt. For not available, reverting to 3.5 turbo. Okay, so it found the key, and it knows that the key is not available in combination with GPT-4, which is true. I'm still on the wait list. I don't have GPT-4 access. Okay. So why is it mad about the main prompt? Let me just commit this fix to load.env. I'll push that. Okay. So going to Command C, Command Shift F, Command V, enter. I'm on a Mac. You can just substitute the control key instead if you're on Windows. So there's some issue right here. This is in our GPT-Engineer steps. And it's saying there is a key error. Main prompt. Did I name it wrong? Let's see. Hangman game. Main prompt. dbs.input. Where's dbs defined? dbs is this entity. Okay. Here's the input, which is a DB. Simple key value store, Coolio, where keys are file names and values are file contents. Okay. That should be fine because there's totally a... Oh, is this something that changed just like in the past day? 24 hours ago. Yeah. Because it might not be technically considered a key is the issue. Yesterday. I guess I can file this issue. Let me make a note of this. I'm not going to file the issue yet. I'm going to try, give it, 10 minutes or so and try to fix it. Possible bug. One thing I should be able to do is just access the dictionary here. This is like not a good thing to do, but whatever if it works. Key error main prompt. Let's throw a breakpoint in there. GPT-Engineer works pretty well at writing code, but keeps messing up file names and running code for me. Interesting. There were 100 commits merged yesterday. So, oh, I can't do that inside the array. My bad. So I'm not sure if like previous experience is representative of today, right? So let's look at DBs. Do we have DBs? All right, we have DBs. What about dbs.input? We have dbs.input. And what about the dictionary? dbs.input.dict. It has the folder path. Projects, Hangman game. Oh, am I supposed to put Hangman game inside a folder called projects? Oh, what? This is new. We are writing snake in Python. What? Okay, that's just the example project. Let me check out the README. Maybe I have to use this projects folder now. Projects. You can specify the identity in the identity folder. Okay. Create a new empty folder with a main prompt in the projects folder. 12 hours ago. Okay. No big deal. Actually, this is great. So previously, you would just like make a folder and then just tell it like wherever your folder is. But now it looks like they really want you to be inside of the inside of this projects folder, and I think that's actually really good. So let me undo this change. So yeah, good thing we were not too hasty in filing the bug, eh? Here is projects. I'm going to delete this existing dir, grab mine, and drag it in there. Projects, projects, projects. Move. Okay, we have example. We have hangman game. Here's main prompt. I'm going to delete the example. And let's commit a fix. So this fix says use project dir. It should not be a strict delete. It should be a delete and a move. Why is it get ignored? Let me look at my get ignore. Ah, so it wants to ignore. I guess it's smart, maybe. But I do not want to ignore the hangman game. So here's use project dir. Projects hangman game. Did I spell it wrong? Let me stage that. Why is it still ignoring it? Okay, let me commit the don't ignore hangman game. Okay, let me commit that. I don't know why it's not tracking. Projects hangman game. Let me just move it, because maybe it's like a change detection problem. I'm totally guessing about that. Whoa. What is he building? Currently just trying to do a hangman game. Oh, says I was playing around with it a few hours ago. Very cool nonetheless. Okay, cool. So then you've got sort of the latest. Hey, quick reminder, if you go over to YouTube, the link is in my bio, you can see the full screen. I don't know if there was like some lag going on or some change detection issue or what, but I'm going to stage this. So here's the main prompt. I'm going to stage this. And then these are deletions. Yeah, we're going to stage all of these. Following paths are ignored by get ignore. And then it says files and then it shows nothing. Whatever. Let me get status just to make sure it's good. Renamed and deleted. That is what I would like to see. Okay, so I consider this to be a chore, or I guess it's a fix. Use project dir and rm example. Okay, we'll push that. Where did you learn Python? So let's see. I learned it on the job and also in my PhD program. So for the PhD program, where did I pick it up? Just Googling, honestly. What is this one site? Data Camp. I feel like they had some articles that were helpful, but really just like a collection of YouTube videos where I was like, hey, I know how to do this thing in Stata. How do I do it in Python? And there were just like a bunch of random YouTubers. So that's not good advice. Basically, basically, if you want to learn Python, don't ask where I learned Python. Ask where you should learn Python. Because the way I learned Python is not a good match for others. If you would like to learn Python, check out Coursera or a coding bootcamp. Or like if you're interested in data analysis, then like a data analysis bootcamp. It's impossible in this market. Better stick to the industry you're in. No, it's the perfect time to learn to code. Because if you start learning now, you will be ready for the January hiring season. And things are changing. So that's going to be something you should target. When January shows up, you wish you had the job. You're not going to make 6 months of experience magically appear. So get started now. Okay, now that we've done all these things, let's try this. Still concerned about the main prompt. Breakpoint again. Let's get the dict. Okay, so somewhere earlier in the process, this key should be loaded, and it's not being loaded. So let's go find where that is. Fun. Okay, genspec. Where is genspec invoked? In respec. In steps. Let's turn on the caps. This is the only place steps is used. Command-Shift-F to look in other files. Let's turn on the caps detection. And it's right here in the main file. Caps detection important here because lowercase steps is going to be used in a lot of places, right? For step and steps. Okay? What is this? Delete files in subdirectories and paths. Yo, is it deleting my stuff? Bro, did you delete my stuff? GPT-Engineer. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but somehow my stuff got deleted. All right, good thing we're using Git. Let's go look on this branch and get my files back. Here I want to pull from my own vdev into my own main. So here are my file diffs, and this will be hangman game. So we're just going to make a draft pull request here from myself to myself. Have you used Neo4j before? I don't think so. If I have, not very much. So here, if we look for, here's the hang identity. Oh, because I moved it. Remember, I moved it into the identity folder because I was concerned about the change detection. All right, so it's still right there. Let me rename hangman game foo. I did the rename because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't selecting the projects folder. So now I'm going to click and drag over to projects. Yeah, look, it is only registering a deletion again. So there's a git ignore issue here. It says ignore GPT-Engineer files. I don't know what all files it's going to make, but I guess we'll deal with that later. GPT-Engineer projects. Hangman game. Why does that not work? I just don't care that much. I can chase that down if I want to. But I will just not ignore. Don't ignore projects. Dir. So maybe it's going to make a ton of files. We'll see. Let's try one more time. Cool. Looks like we're cooking. Hey, there's no market saturation. There's a ton of open software engineering jobs. You can go over to Indeed.com and find it right now. Okay, request failed due to server shutdown. That is wild. OpenAI error received. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. OpenAI server down. Server status. Ooh, they are spotty. Look at this. But it says everything's good right now. Let me go over to ChatGPT. Use normal language. Is your server down? If it responds at all, we're good. Okay, so it should be good. Let's try this again. Total bummer that that I'm getting charged for that. I'm getting charged for my OpenAI requests even when their server is down. Oh, let's go. We're getting it. It's making files. Stop telling people lies. Oh gosh, this is so easy to prove, y'all. Indeed.com. Software engineer. It's like embarrassing how many people still say stuff like this. Where's the count? It used to have a count. There's just like hella jobs. Look at this. Show more jobs. I want it to show the number though. Where? Let's say remote. Programmer. Programming. Sure. So here's 11,000 jobs. Full stack developer. Can I do or? Is this going to work? I've had trouble with their or. Front end developer. Let's do this. Or JavaScript. Okay. What? Or like programmer. Did I already say programming? Programmer or software engineer. So there are a bunch of like terms basically. So it could depend on what you're searching. But I got 25,000 jobs right here. Let's look in, instead of remote, let's look in California. 30,000 jobs. New York, 15,000 jobs. I mean, yeah, if you're in like a smaller state, what, like Arkansas, it's going to be really hard, right? Only 1,000 jobs. And a bunch of these are like not even real matches, right? Here's a software engineer. Find entry level with 0 experience. You should not be claiming 0 experience. Do you not have a GitHub portfolio? If you're saying that you have 0 experience, that is, you're messing up your own job search. So start a GitHub portfolio right now. If you have a CS degree, you don't have 0 experience programming. You have programmed during your CS degree. So book a call with me in my bio if you're having issues like that. Yeah, if you're telling people you have 0 experience, you're going to be really shooting yourself in the foot. There's basically 0 job descriptions that say 0 years of experience. This is like a well-known thing in the industry. So I'll look for entry level. So here's like 400 in Arkansas. We can change it over to California, whatever. But even entry level, they're going to be asking for like minimum 6 months experience and very often 1, 2, or 3 years of experience. Experience working with, this is actually a really great job description because they don't say 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. It just says experience with JavaScript. So if you're job hunting and if you're saying I have 0 experience with JavaScript and I'm uncomfortable with HTML, you're doing a bad job of your own professional personal branding. And so that's like not a problem with the job market. That's like a problem with your approach to the job market. Does that make sense? Yeah, this one it says 1 year of Ruby preferred. Ruby on Rails. So you can go apply for this one if you want to. All right. 70K for full stack is crazy. No, 70K for entry level is like not bad. I mean, if you're like thinking about comparing it to Google, 70K for entry is totally fine. Look up IT jobs in Cali. I'm not going to. We're getting off track, y'all. There's definitely IT jobs in Cali. Okay, so a bunch of this is generated now. Cool, we got unit tests. Here's some example tests. It's kind of funky that it does it this way. It has like these blocks of uncommented text, so it's not just putting JavaScript in a JavaScript file. It's like a markdown file, basically. Then you should promoting crash courses not helping anyone. Are you talking to me? What are you talking about? I'm not even sure what you're saying. Gen code. You will get instructions for write code. You will write a very long answer. Make sure that every detail of the architecture is, in the end, implemented as code. Okay, so I think this is like GPT talking to itself, basically. Here's Hangman.js. And here's the readme.txt. After I finish Codecademy, what should I do right after? Check out Latterly Slides. This is an open source educational curriculum. You can go to the curriculum file, search for the job search section, and here's what you do. Basically, you need to work on social networking and interview prep. Make sure your resume looks good, make sure your LinkedIn looks good, apply to a lot of places, and get good at interviewing. That's it. Make sure you have a portfolio as well. Link in my bio if you want to set up a call if I can help. Okay, so like it made some stuff. So let's commit this, I guess. Feet, hangman, attempt. It's weird that it did this quote thing. So this is actual JavaScript, I think. Right? This is like valid JavaScript over here. Cool. Generated entry point command that was not bash. Yeah, so I think it kind of just failed out. Note, the hangman class uses this thing. It kind of failed out. So let's try it again. I wonder if it sort of continues with the existing files or if it kind of redoes everything. Great, thank you. I'm working on the portfolio along the way. Great job. Hang in there. Quick reminder, y'all, you can go over to YouTube, link is in my bio, and see the full screen. So it's doing the thing. We can debate about if it's doing it well, but it's doing the thing. The program should randomly select a word from a list of words. Should allow the user to play again. This is great. Should display hangman as ASCII art with a green head. I specifically asked for that. Make the hangman character have a green head. What project should I work on first? What software engineering are you doing? Front end, back end, full stack? What are you doing? Python, JavaScript? Typically, I encourage people to start with a vanilla JavaScript blog, a single page, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But if you're already like in the middle of a Python course, I wouldn't want you to switch. Full stack. Okay, yeah. Full stack is hard because you're trying to do a lot of different stuff. Are you doing one language or two languages? Are you doing isomorphic JavaScript or TypeScript? One thing that a lot of boot camps are pushing these days is like Rails on the back end, JavaScript on the front end, or like Python on the back end and JavaScript on the front end. I think that's super annoying. It's really hard to learn. So yeah, I would start with a static HTML blog page. Do it as a single page, then do it again as a next app, a full stack app with React. Generated entry point command that was not bash. So it deleted files. It's using a bracket syntax here instead of this quote file. This is really weird. Okay, here is feat attempt 2. Let's push this, and then I think we're going to go give cursor a shot because this is not working very well, is it? So here's the hangman game. CodeGen loop keeps exiting with generated an entry point command that was not bash. You know what? Let's make sure, maybe I can just solve it like this. This feels like a dumb hack, but maybe it will work. I've seen this work for other people in the past. Make sure to construct this game in a way that avoids the error. Where should I host my site? Currently doing it on Firebase. No, if it's a static single page, you can use GitHub Pages. It's totally free. Just use GitHub Pages. For full stack, yeah, you can use Firebase if you want to. I don't really enjoy that, but go for it. I like Supabase. Here's Supabase. Supabase.com. I think they're way better than Firebase. But look, if Firebase works for you, that's great. You know, if you can make your app work with Firebase, you can totally get a job. You can also use Netlify. Yeah, shout out to Netlify. Good call, Munir. So I like GitHub Pages because it's built into GitHub. I also like Vercel because they have a great GitHub integration. So, but yeah, you can totally use Netlify as well. And they have a pretty good developer experience too. Thanks for the follow. So far, we're surviving. What program is this? This is called GPT-Engineer. Oh, man. Failed out again. What is it doing? It's making Python files? So I think this sort of adversarially selected test, it's just failing it miserably. I think this is confusing it. So the instruction is to make a JavaScript hangman game and to update the README appropriately. And the README talks about a Python game. Like, why is it doing that? There's no need to make any Python file at all. Let's do one more. Feet try to avoid assertion error. Okay, let's add to the main point. Absolutely do not generate any Python code for any reason. For the love of everything. Also, don't generate Ruby code. Literally, just write JavaScript, even for CLI tasks. All right, this is definitely going to fix it, right? Bro, what you building? I'm trying to just build a hangman game using GPT-Engineer. And it is pretty much failing. So I think it's like getting really far if I, as a developer, am willing to like tweak these output files by hand. Then it's actually doing like a lot of really good work. But if I wanted to build something that's like fully functional, it's like not working. Tell it to begin its response with the generated code and add no pros at the prompt end. Okay, we can try that next time around. No single prompt will ever be able to do this. What's up, Noah? Hey, Noah, have you heard of small developer? Have you heard of small developer? So Swix demoed small developer, and there's a video, like you can go see it working basically. So he generated a Chrome extension just by prompt using small developer. Small developer is the predecessor to GPT-Engineer, so it's like less effective. And there are even more examples. Another one that I really like is Prompt Engineering does a joke game. And it worked. So this joke generator, he just prompted it and it worked. However, it's a really simple tool. It's a single HTML file that has JavaScript, CSS, and everything inside of it. And so that's why we're doing this test. And it's also a Greenfield project. So we're doing a slightly different test where we ask it to modify the existing code, quote unquote. It's just a README file. But we can see that it's presenting a stumbling block. And I also ask it to split the code into multiple files. You will be prompted. Server had an error while processing the request. You know what? It may have gotten further this time. Building a system that works single shot is much harder and less useful than in an observable chain. No, it's not. You missed the word sometimes. You need to add the word sometimes if you want that statement to be correct. Okay, so let's say feat force no Python code. And now let's add the no pros suggestion. And this will be probably the final test. Here we can see it got interrupted by the OpenAI server failure, rate limit error. Ah. Interesting. So I don't really want to blame GPT-Engineer necessarily for that, but on the other hand, I totally blame GPT-Engineer for that. Because if I can go over to Cursor and not hit a rate limit error, that's a software level problem, isn't it? I don't want to have to be working around that. Okay, so I'm scrolling through the comments to go find that no pros prompt. I think it was just no pros in brackets, right? Do you give tutorials? I mean, kind of. I would, no matter how many API calls it's making. It was no pros in brackets. All right, thanks, Hot Sauce. Bro trying so hard to become TikTok famous over a crud app. Yeah, bro is trying so hard. By the way, if you go over to YouTube, link is in my bio, you can see the full screen. What language is this? This is just plain English. The prompt here, it's just plain English. I'm asking it to generate JavaScript. Jen looks mad slow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot faster than I would be writing it. It's not as, like, slow relative to what? Is there another way that's faster that doesn't cost an arm and a leg? We got that entry point command is not bash again. Okay, so I think we throw in the towel on this. I don't know if that no pros thing did anything at all. Cool. So let's open up Cursor. Here I want to create a new AI project. Should I make a new folder? Let me not. Let me just do it right here and see if it's smart enough. I'm going to literally take the same prompt. I'm going to say create a new folder called Hangman Game and place a Hangman Game application inside of that folder. The game should meet the following requirements. Oh, and then it tells you which, okay. That's good. I like that actually. So it's not even a prompted folder creation. It's like a force-coded folder creation. I like that. I am going to use my red, yellow, green folder here. Kind of what I was imagining is that it would use the workspace literal that I'm currently inside, and it would be smart enough to follow the prompt. This will be the name of the project. This is cool. Let's just do this. So basically, I don't have to worry about if it's smart enough to follow the prompt where I ask it to make a folder, because the cursor workflow itself creates the folder. GPT-4, not good at making a whole ass app, but it's good at writing one component at a time. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but we're trying to do better than that, right? All this work when you could literally write the logic yourself. Yeah. Like, no. We definitely like to automate things when possible, right? Okay, is it done already? I guess it's done already. That was super fast. This is using, I think, GPT-4. I don't know. Instead of GPT-3. I have GPT-4 in Cursor, but I did not actually pick. So I don't know. Let me look at my cursor settings. Maybe the dashboard will tell me. So here's my cursor settings. It should tell me you've used one request of GPT-4. I think I used that yesterday. So I guess this did not use GPT-4. Settings, profiles, default. I think it's using GPT 3.5 by default, which is kind of nice so I don't use up my quota. Except we know that it's going to be a lot higher quality with GPT-4. But whatever, this should be a pretty simple app. And this time it actually wrote me JS files, right? The no pros concept, it did that. And I didn't have to, well, I guess I did prompt it saying no pros, but let me try it again without doing that. Maybe I can use a simpler prompt. The other difference here is this was Greenfield. So it did not modify an existing folder. So let's run this program, new terminal. We are inside of redyellowgreen, so it created a folder inside of redyellowgreen. Cursor AI project. It did not make a folder name called Hangman Game, which I asked it to. It did not do that. Let's see, and then here's the usage. So the usage is great. Node index.js, exactly what I would expect. Check this out. The installation is wrong. To install the game, clone the repository and navigate to the Hangman Game directory. This is wrong. Shardul says, hey, John, what's up? Thanks for being here. How is Java different from JavaScript? The same way that like a car is different from a carpet. They're totally different. GPT-Engineer GitHub says that it needs a key with GPT-4 access. I give it no, it does both. It supports 3.5. I give it a key with GPT 3.5 access. How hard is it to go from knowing Lua, Python, and Java to learning JavaScript? It's super easy. If you know Python and Java, JavaScript will be easier than learning those. Guess a letter, W. Oh, man. What's my next letter in the chat? Let me know. How many? That looks like a long word. Is that the word dictionary? Let me go for D. Command not found D? What? Did it just exit the game? Wait. It just exited the game. So it's nicer in some ways, but it still doesn't work, right? It still doesn't work. Can I go up a level? Yo, so I was thinking as all UIs are now going to be chat UIs, do you agree? No, definitely not. Definitely not. How can I update this workspace? Damn, I thought you'd say yes and make a cool Telegram bot. No, thinking that chat UIs are going to be all UIs is a really narrow view of what a UI is. This laptop keyboard is a UI. The mouse is a UI. My phone is a UI. My remote to my TV is a UI. Chat isn't going to replace all that stuff anytime soon. A video game controller is a UI. A steering wheel is a UI. These are interfaces, right? And there are a lot of cases where a physical interface is mechanically preferred for the task at hand to any kind of like chat transformer, like talking, like no. Chat has a special use case. Thanks for the follow, Kevin. Okay, so how do I fix this project? It's basically not working. Let me Command L, Command K, instructions for generating new code. Do I want to generate new code or would I rather repair code? I can up and down for history. I'm pressing up and down, nothing's happening. So I guess this doesn't connect to my new AI project. Let me go over here at chat. Ask anything. This is just chat. I had problems with this last time. Let's try it. Can you fix my app so that it doesn't exit the node process after my first incorrect guess? And put a question mark. And let me drop this down and chat with the entire code base. Let me go to Restream and drag my head down a little bit so that you can see. It says searching code base, and this takes a long time. And this was a problem for me the last time I used Cursor, so I don't know if this problem has been solved. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. I don't know that it said like searching code base. I'm so confused. There's 4 files. Like, there's no way it should be loading for that long. Sure, I can help with that. The issue you're facing is because closing the readline interface. Okay. So here I used GPT-4 chat with. I tried to use chat with Codebase, but I don't know if it worked. It might have fallen back into chat with file, which is what it looks like is currently selected. But in any case, it seemed to figure out the issue. So let's just paste that over this code right here. I'm just comparing the implementations. It looks kind of like it never closes the stream. Whatever, let's try it out. What's the letter in the chat, y'all? Let me know. I'm going to go with Z. Okay, I can still guess. Let me go W, S. Oh, I got a letter. Bro never heard of diff. What are you talking about? You want me to run a git diff? I didn't commit anything. What's the letter in the chat? O P L. This guy's gonna die, isn't he? E A. Something A, something A, S. I have no idea. No guesses? I'm still alive. I got one leg to go. No guesses, y'all. Come on. You're not going to help me out? I got one leg to go. Y'all just want me to lose all by myself. Okay. What am I going to go for? D. All right, I'm dead. The word was JavaScript. Oh, wow. Hey, how meta is that? It made a JavaScript hangman game and the word was JavaScript. That's pretty cool. It did not create a green head like I asked it to. So chat here told me how to fix it, but it didn't fix it itself. What if I go over to tools? And I'm going to close the index file here, and I'm going to open the README. So if it tries to chat with my file by default, it's going to be chatting with a README. So now what I want to do is update this app, update this Hangman game, so that the Hangman, the ASCII Hangman, has a green head. I'm going to chat with tools. What program are you using? This is called Cursor. So it is a AI augmented IDE that is built on top of VS Codium. Thought, first I need to find the code that generates the ASCII Hangman. It's likely in a JavaScript file. Seems like there was error with the search. Error with the format of the edit action, edit action, edit action. Okay, so it's just looping now. All right, bummer. Thank you, bro. Very, very welcome. Okay, so that didn't quite work. What else can I do? Command K, generating new code. Command L is for the chat. Command K. Let me go grab. Okay, I already lost it. Update the ASCII art JS file so that the Hangman head is green. And it's going to try and drop that here in the README file. It says, here's an example of how to do this, and it's blank. Bummer. Okay, so it seems like it did a better job of generating Greenfield code compared to GPT-Engineer. It is able to read my code base to some extent, but it really is not able to update the code in place, is what it's seeming like. Let me just ask it. Can I use the Cursor IDE to update code in place? Yes, you can, it says. Navigate to the part of the code you want to change. See, this is a problem already. What if I want to make changes to many files at once? Can the cursor IDE do that for me, or will I need to select files one by one? Because the problem is, like, what if I don't know what change goes in what file? Here's how to edit multiple files. Open the first file you want to edit in the Cursor IDE. Make your changes in the code editor and save the file. Use the File Explorer to navigate to the next file. Repeat it until you've all... So basically, it's telling you to open them one by one. Bummer. Okay. How can I update this the current project so that the ASCII hangman has a green head. And let's chat with the entire code base for that. I think this is probably the main issue that I'm seeing with Cursor right now, is that understanding the code base is really difficult for it. Even when the code base is 4 files, 3 code files and a README file. That's okay. That's just the state of it today. That's fine. So let's cancel this generation and let's chat with the current file. And I have here open the ASCII art file now. Okay, so let's update this get hangman. That's cool. It really has the ability to improve our workflow, but it doesn't seem to have the ability to read and refactor the code base automatically yet. So GPT-Engineer has room to beat Cursor still. Although it wasn't working with GPT-Engineer either, was it? Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see if I have a green head. E. Oh, there's my green head. A, D, L, M, N, O, P. Cool. All right, so I'm dead. That's cool, but I have a green head now. So this meets a lot of the requirements, and I think Cursor's back on the table, y'all. I think Cursor, it's hard to say. No, it's actually not hard to say, because GPT-Engineer was just making, it is hard to say. In either case, they're only doing part of the job that I want to do. So it's hard to say which is better, but they're both currently on the table. And I think that's going to do it for today's stream. So what we've learned is that as a software engineer, I'm still going to have to engineer software. Neither of these is doing my job for me today. But I can use them both to accelerate my development. So follow the YouTube channel, link in my bio, and we will get to work on red, yellow, green in the next stream. See you later.